You could tell him I said it. Leave your bitch alone.
Antarctica's iceberg A23A had been stuck to the ocean floor for decades, but it broke free last November. Satellite imagery from recent months shows it gradually heading north towards open water. The size is enormous, with a surface area of about 1,500 square miles. Iceberg A23A is larger than the state of Rhode Island. Dr. Andrew Myers joins us. He's a polar ocean science leader with the British Antarctic Survey and has studied the iceberg in person. So take us up close and personal. You've seen this iceberg, but what does it look like?
It's really impressive to see. It's a colossal wall of ice that extends from one horizon to the other. So we spent around about 7 hours steaming just along this wall of ice that's around about 40 or so meters high. So it's effectively a wall on one side of your ship, as far as you can see.
Wow, you know, glaciers up close, you know, can look a little dirty, right, because of the air and other types of pollution. Is this relatively clean because it's been on the ocean floor, or what's sort of the texture of it?
So it's very pristine white ice. So this ice has basically been sitting on the Antarctic continent for many thousands or even millions of years since it first fell as snow, and then it moved out into the ocean as part of an ice shelf before 40 years ago, snapping off and sitting more or less in the same place near the Antarctic coastline. And then about 2 years ago, it came loose and has been working its way out of the sea ice. And just earlier a few months ago, we were there, as you can see in the footage, and it is now making its way northwards out into the open ocean.
Wow, I'm just putting my glasses on there to look at that a little bit. It's almost like a little bit blue along the ridge with the water. Is that just a reflection, or is that actually the color of the ice?
Yeah, I think that's largely a reflection, but you can get some absolutely beautiful ice. This ice here is largely white. That's due to tiny air bubbles that are actually trapped inside of the ice, which actually have a really great scientific purpose for actually allowing us to measure the air from thousands of years ago. But you can get other sorts of ice.
Wait a minute. So you're saying there's air trapped in that ice that's allowing you to assess what the atmosphere was like maybe 10 or 20 or 30,000 years ago?
Absolutely. It's
Wow.
one of the projects of the British Antarctic Survey that we undertake is we take ice cores. At the moment, they're searching for a million-year-old core, so that allows us to measure ice back a millions of years. It's really how we understand what the climate looked like over very long timescales before humans started effectively changing it.
Wow, that's an incredible benchmark, right, as we try and understand how climate is changing in the modern day. Okay, so where is it heading now?
So this is heading out into what's known as Iceberg Alley. So the process of icebergs breaking off from these ice shelves is quite a natural process. This is a very abnormally large one, though. And this will move off into the open ocean. As it encounters that sea ice-free water, which is significantly warmer, it will gradually break up. But because it is so massive, it could go a very long way and potentially interact with some of the sub-Antarctic islands and all the wildlife that live on them on its way.
And just in the last few seconds, I mean, how did you get interested in this area of science? Is it like being young and you want to be an archaeologist and you woke up one day and went, Eureka, I want to be an ice scientist? How does that work?
Well, I always loved the ocean. I grew up near the ocean and it was something I wanted to do. But it's a really important part of the global climate. The Southern Ocean actually takes up most of the heat that humans have actually generated since the start of the Industrial Revolution. And it's how it changes into the future, which is something we really poorly understand and is influenced by these mega icebergs as they melt, is something that it has great potential consequences for our future in the coming decades and centuries. So it's something that I'm really passionate about understanding, and getting to go to these places and see icebergs like this is really one of the big bonuses.